Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News9 Live. Now, all major political parties that matter in Karnataka have an obsession to build replicas of Vidhana Sauda, erect statues of seers, savants and political leaders as well. But can construction of public buildings or installations of gigantic statues of iconic figures push up the poll prospects? Why it's important to ask these questions is because a series of statues are being installed by the BJP government in Karnataka. And they're not the only ones erecting statues or building huge structures. Even Congress and the JDS have splurged public money on statues and buildings. Let's not forget, 11 statues would otherwise not have been installed over the years on the premises of the Vidhan Sauda. Now, point to note is that not a single woman icon from Queen Chennamma of Kittur or Abakka Devi have found a place anywhere. Even those who know elementary politics are aware that these statues are installed to outreach and to rope in major communities like the Vokaliga, Lingayats, Kurubas and the Dalits. Chief Minister Bommai, he himself has been on a statue unveiling spree and has unveiled 15 statues in the past few months alone. The present dispensation is now all set to unveil 2 more bronze statues at the vantage points of the Vidhana Sauda. Kempe Gowda, the founder of Bengaluru, and another of Basaveshwara, the saint poet. And if that's not enough, Nirmalananda Swami, the chief pontiff of the Adi Chunchanagiri Mutt, somebody who wields influence among Vokaligas of old Mysuru region, is being wooed for votes. Home Minister Amit Shah had met Nirmalananda in December recently. But what's really happening on the Karnataka socio-political chessboard? What's behind the ticket tussle and rumblings in the BJP and the Congress? Why are politicians making a beeline to meet seers, and is Mutt Mantra playbook the way to go this time around? Joining me to speak more is my colleague and Executive Editor, Political Affairs, News9 Plus in the studio, Brijesh Pandey. A very warm welcome on the broadcast, Brijesh. Brijesh, right at the outset, before we begin, the word appeasement is being flung around in news articles in various debates. But what do you actually call it? Is this appeasement? Is this outreach? Is this development? Taxpayers' money being used for... there are various Kempe Gowda statues. There are various Basaveshwara statues. Why do we need, more of these?
Well, the most important and the most immediate aspect is the elections, which are around the corner in 2 months. And we have several statues of Kempe Gowda. We have also Kempe Gowda Airport also in Bangalore. But this particular statue unveiling spree is basically more aimed at pleasing the powerful Vokalinga sect, and this is the reason, this is the area where the BJP is working hard, given the fact that they dominate the politics of Karnataka. You see that on 24th Amit Shah is coming, on 25th Prime Minister Narendra Modi is coming, and on 26th again Home Minister Amit Shah is coming to the state of Karnataka. And this clearly shows, Kabir, the kind of impetus BJP wants to give to their campaign in Karnataka, the kind of importance Karnataka has in their scheme of things, because Karnataka remains the only southern state which the BJP has been able to win. And they are trying massively for the southern surge, and a glimpse of which is visible when you look at the state of Telangana. So if the BJP is not able to retain this, then this entire southern surge narrative goes kaput. And this is something which the BJP will not want to do at all cost. And hence all these statue unveiling, because they feel that this may help them make a very positive outreach to the Vokalinga community, and also to the community, and also to ensure that they are going to vote for the BJP. Because remember, if you look at the way Prime Minister dealt with Yedurappa, giving him a place as BJP topmost decision-making authority, parliamentary board, and then when he Prime Minister visited Karnataka, the kind of importance it was accorded, because he's the most powerful Lingayat leader as far as the state of Karnataka is concerned. So this particular statue unveiling spree is basically seen in that context.
Absolutely. Gautam Shankar, News9 Live's voice from the South and expert opinion, joins us on the broadcast as well. Gautam, give us a sense of how you're looking at these developments that are taking shape. Appeasement is the word that is being thrown around. The new statues that are set to come about, of course, not new ones. Now, at the same time, there are pressure groups, these various communities that actually wield the kind of power and influence, Vokaligas, the Kurubas, the Dalits, the Lingayat community as well. But on the ground, do we really need them? Is this something the government wants to do for the people, or are these pressure groups dictating the narrative of this year's election?
Good afternoon, Kabir. Good afternoon, Brajesh. Happy Ugadi to everyone. When it comes to BJP, you can call it appeasement, You can call it part of their entire program that is going on. But if you look at it broadly, it is part of their social engineering that has been going on for a long time, and we've seen this in different states. And the reason they are going with the installation of statues of Kempe Gowda or be it Basavana, yes, as you mentioned, it is to appease the communities, be it the Lingats, Vokaligas to a certain extent. But on the ground, is it making an impact? So that is the question that we need to look at here. If you have to see the Vokaliga vote bank, by installing numerous statues of Nadaprabhu Kempe Gowda, the chieftain here, have they been able to do that? Because the struggles are still evident, and the vote bank still remains largely with the JDS, split a little bit with the Congress. They have been trying to project certain Vokaliga leaders like Ashwath Narayan, who had been appointed as the Mandya in charge recently, but that did not capitalize as well. So, to what extent are the statue politics going to work in the favor of the BJP? That is the right question to ask. Because also keep in mind the statue that was unveiled by the Prime Minister Modi in airport. What happened over there? We have Kempe Gowda, who is looked at as the founder of Bengaluru, who had a vision for Bengaluru. And this
Right.
comes at a time when the city does not even have an elected civic body. And if you
Right.
look at Basmana, he's a social reformer. He has never engaged in caste politics. He tried to drive this away, and he's been made the Lingat lead, face of politics. So these are things. It's a matter of putting these things into perspective.
And also at the same time, you spoke about Bengaluru and how, Kempe Gowda had his vision for Bengaluru. Take a look at what's happening in Bengaluru. A pothole-ridden city, the electronic city. In every year's reign, it seems like a deluge has taken over the entire electronic city. Do you think the statue politics versus real issues on the ground is a narrative, is a debate that is being lost?
It's a debate that is being raised among the civic bodies here and even the resident welfare associations. When we have a year on the ground, all we listen to is the money that is being spent on the statues here. Could it have been spent better on developing the infrastructure? Keep in mind, in Bangalore, BJP has a majority of the MLAs, and ever since we lost we do not have an elected civic body. The BBMP elections have not been held for over 2 years now, and these BJP MLAs are the ones ruling the roost, in a manner of saying. So in that perspective, these development versus statue politics, this is a debate that is actively going on in the city, and this could actually determine the kind of vote share the BJP will see here as well.
Well, absolutely. Brajesh, Captain Ganesh Karnik, BJP spokesperson, is also with us on the broadcast. Let's take these particular questions to the BJP spokesperson over there. Captain Ganesh, give us a sense of why, what is the BJP's standpoint on this particular debate? The need for statues vis-a-vis the real issues that, something that Gautam is talking about. The BBMP is without, any elections or office bearers for the last 2 years. It needs a revamp. The pothole-ridden city, there are floods every year in Bengaluru as well. And on the other hand, you've got a Kempe Gowda statue. So instead of the statue, maybe the taxpayers' money could be utilized in a better way?
Good afternoon and happy Yugadi and happy New Year to all of you. I respectfully appreciate Mr. Brajesh's views. In a democracy, each individual has his own views about various issues bothering or concerning the society. From that perspective, I appreciate. In fact, I could not hear the initial part of discussion, and I don't even know what are the questions you raised. Now, these statues of icons, it is part of the history of, not only India, the entire world. You go all over the world and see places. There are statues installed of various important icons pertaining to or referring to that particular geographical area. So, remembering our elders, in fact, you made an initial remark that there are only statues of male,
Right,
icons.
absolutely. No women
You mentioned
statues.
that, yeah, you also quoted the name of Rani Abaka, Kitu Chanamma, and Akamadevi's statue is being now announced already. So these two are different things. One is respecting the heroes who are icons of society. It need not necessarily be looked at from a communal point of view or a vote bank point of view. These statues have been installed over a period of time. For example, there is no town in this country where there is no statue of Ambedkar. There are no towns in this country where Mahatma Gandhi's statue or Mahatma Gandhi's name. About the contributions made by such people. Development is another issue altogether. That doesn't mean that if you install statue, development is being neglected. For example, the contributions of Kempegowda in forming Bangalore city is something we just cannot overlook. After such a long time, today the government has thought of installing a beautiful statue of Kempegowda right outside the airport. And like other places, one of the most important buildings of the state, the Vidhan Saudha, see, Honorable Chief Minister has decided to, unveil the statue of Kempegowda and, Akkamahadevi and Basveshwara and all that. So I don't think there is anything wrong in installing the statues of such important people. But again, like Mr. Brajesh mentioned, it should not be at the cost of development. Now, if I can refer back to past 4 years, the highest amount has been spent on capital expenditure by the state government successively under BJP regime. I can quote the exact figures if you want. Last 4 years, every year, increasingly, how we have been spending more and more money on investing on capital expenditure. So, development and statues you cannot compare. And this is not done just because of election. Kempegowda statues, the decision was taken long ago. In fact, between Vidhan Saudha and Vikas Saudha, we installed a Mahatma Gandhi statue, the biggest statue of Mahatma Gandhi in the entire country. No one discussed about it. This happened in the previous regime, during 2011, 2012 time. So statue, for one, I believe in recognizing the contributions made by such stalwarts, such great leaders. And
There is no
keeps
denying
them
in that, Captain
inspiring.
Ganesh Karnik.
Yes,
There is no denying
exactly.
in the fact that, we must recognize our icons of history
Yes.
as well. But the question here is it the need of the hour at the moment? And it does put a burden on the state exchequer as well. And these statues aren't, any cheap statues. They're really tall, and the kind of, the money that is put in is the taxpayers' money. And at this point in time, one has to look at it in tandem with the election. It is election year after all, isn't it?
I, I again respectfully acknowledge the observation made by you. The point of view, or the right point of time, which is the right point of time? Who has to decide? For you, you think, it should be done after elections. For Mr. Brajesh, it should have been done just at the beginning of the, the new government's setting in. Or somebody must have done it some 100 years ago, because Kempegowda was a great icon even those days. So at what point of time is a debatable issue, and this can be discussed by various people at various point of time. I personally feel today, having decided to install a statue, which is not going to happen overnight, not in next 1.5 months before elections, it's not going to happen. It will take its own time. And when it has to happen, how it has to happen, how much money has to be sent, what should be the height. I come from a place called Karkala originally. And the coastal part of Karnataka is supposed to be the Parashuram Sasti, we call. But all these years, there was no single statue for Parashuram. Even though in every folklore, we kept on saying that this piece of land has been created by Lord Parashurama. So the local MLA took an initiative and he installed a beautiful statue on a hilltop. And that has become a talking point along the coastal part of Karnataka today. So that has connected the entire coastal belt of Karnataka with Parashuram and our history and legacy. So these installation of statues should not be connected with the development. Installation of statues should not be connected with the vote bank politics, which you initially mentioned about it. These two are different things. I have absolutely no second thoughts on what Mr. Brajesh was mentioning. Yes, potholes, better quality roads, civic amenities, all these have to be attended to. In the name of statues, you cannot neglect this. But because you are doing developmental work, you can't even overlook these factors that at some point of time, we need to identify, needed to respectfully, consecrate the statues of such elderly people. In and around the Vidhan Sauda, if I'm not wrong, there are about 10, 11 statues
Right.
already installed there. So, Devrajara statue, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Kengal Hanmantaya, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, Lord Basveshwara. There are many statues in and around, Vidhan Sauda. So there are places, in fact, which are left vacant. And today, Honorable Chief Minister decided to install Lord Basveshwara's statue as well as Akka Mahadevi's statue and Kempegowda statue in the precincts of Vidhan Sauda. I think we should welcome it. And as Mr. Brijesh said, on developmental issues, we should put more civic pressure so that even that is not left neglected. Right?
Gautam, one question to you. I know Mr. Kanik will have a different view, but given the fact that there's a lot of infighting within the BJP, we have seen the slugfest which happened between C.T. Ravi and Yedurappa's son, and also the allegation by the Congress about the 40% government, a corrupt government, and the cash which was recovered from a BJP MLA. Do you think that this statue unveiling spree is gonna blunt that assertion and will help the BJP?
Will it blunt that assertion?
No, that's why I said Mr. Kanik will disagree with me. Yeah, Gautam,
I will
please.
talk. If you give me a chance, I'll talk to you.
Please.
So before I get to that,
Yeah.
One second. So
Yeah,
before
Gautam,
I
start.
get to that, when we speak about developmental politics versus statue politics, one thing that we need to take note of is, as Captain Ganesh Karnik pointed out, see, one thing is you cannot really say that this is not just happening during the time of elections. One thing that we have taken note of here, there are numerous statues targeting different communities that are coming up in the next 2 months and that have happened over the last 4 months as well. So a few of them I'll just point out over here. Shivaji statue is coming up in Mangaluru. Rani Abbaka Chowta, here statue and the theme park is coming in a coastal district as well. Made Mahadeshwara here in Chamarajanagar to appease the Dalits and OBCs. So it's not just the Lingats and the Vokkaligas here. And Basavanna statue has come up recently in Belgavi. And then we also have Goddess Bhuvneshwari statue, and we have Hanuman statue that came up recently as well, and in Konigal, in Tumkur. So you can see that it's a targeted practice, as in every district, every region that is there. While we are talking about the unveiling that is going to happen by Amit Shah here, this is happening across the state in a very planned and phased manner by the local leaders of the BJP as well. And this indicates that statue politics is part of the BJP. Let's accept that. And while if I have to talk about whether it will, dent the sort of issues that are going on within the BJP right now. So these are issues that already Yedurappa and C.T. Ravi are seen campaigning together. So they have buried the differences between themselves. And ever since Nadda came and went, as we had discussed earlier, immediately after that, you can see it's almost like there was never a fight to begin with. They are getting along really well, and this campaign is happening smoothly as well. Yeah.
And it's not just statues as well. You've got these seers, and let's not put just the Bharatiya Janata Party on the spot here. The JDS and the Congress too as well. I mean, even as we speak, we're learning that H.D. Kumaraswamy is inaugurating a statue as well. But at the same time, there's a beeline that is being made for the mutts as well. There's a mutt mantra at play here. Nirmalananda Swamy, Home Minister Amit Shah met with him in December. There are other political leaders that have gone and met with seers right ahead of elections, because timing is suspect here, isn't it, Brijesh?
Well, yes, the timing is suspect, and the reason why is because it's a last attempt. I mean, like, it's a month and a half before the election process is over, and by end of May, and this is the reason why you see the parties making the last attempt, ensuring that whichever communities they want to set, whichever communities they want to make an outreach. So the best way to go about it is erect a statue of the most revered leader of that particular community, and this is exactly what we are seeing. Otherwise, usually, I mean, I agree that Kempegowda is a very revered leader and he has statues all over the place, but the last minute unveiling spree basically only points to one direction and nothing more, and the direction is that parties want to ensure or to send a message to the, with this case, to the powerful Lingayat community that, come what may, irrespective of what people say, we are with you, we revere the biggest icon your sect has, and then the underlying message that you vote for us. This is the reason why this fight between C.T. Ravi and Yedurappa's son had BJP a bit nervous, because Yedurappa is still the tallest BJP leader in Karnataka and one of the most tallest leader as far as Lingayat community is concerned. Right. And so I think with this the statue unveiling is basically to ensure that to keep Lingayat community happy on their side.
Absolutely. And Captain Ganesh Karnik, the BJP has said that it's going to promise OBC category for the vocal Ligas and the Lingayats. There is a raise from the earlier 4% to 12%, which is a quota hike. Now, all of these things, I mean, what's wrong with the BJP coming out and saying that, yes, we are trying to appease these communities ahead of the elections? The debate around development, which you said is a separate debate, maybe can be tackled later separately. But I just want to understand if there is something wrong in coming out clean and saying that, yes, we are trying to appease, major and important communities of Karnataka.
I'm not trying to find fault with you. You are linking the statue erection with politics. We are not linking. So your observation is your observation. Mr. Siddaramaiah, as Chief Minister, right outside the legislator's home, which we call a Shasak Bhavan, erected Kanakadasa statue and Valmiki statue, and then went for election. And you know what happened. So please don't link erection of statues with the election and things like that. Number one. Number two, what happened between our National General Secretary, Mr. C.T. Ravi saying, and Mr. Yedurappa's son is a cooked up story. There was no difference at all. Out of context, a part of the sentence, a part of a speech is picked up, and then a debate is held on that. And just it was mentioned, so they are happy going around together and campaigning for the coming ensuing elections. So within the party, contrary to what you said, there is absolutely no confusion, no difference. And going and meeting important community leaders, what is wrong? They have a large sway. Oh, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
You go on.
See, what is wrong? BJP has always stood with our roots. We have been respectfully visiting the muds and important places of religious worship and things like that. We have now shied away from it, and all those pontiffs and Swamijis and religious leaders and community leaders are very, very important people, and we seek their blessings, we seek their support. What is wrong in that? After all, we are in a democratic system. Just before election, we would like to go and meet everybody, and everybody does it. There is nothing wrong in fact, we not only meet these religious leaders, we also identify key voters in each constituency. We go and talk to them, communicate with them, tell them what are our ideas, what is our manifesto finding. We go and talk to them and tell them, if you give us an opportunity, this is what we are going to do. So why try to dissect or bisect or trisect and then try to read between lines? Election gives an opportunity for us to go and tell us about ourselves, what we have done. Yes.
Captain Karnik, how is it possible for somebody out there to not look at the political optics at a year when the state is going for elections? Everybody would welcome these, icons of our own history. They are revered. There are books about them, and of course, nothing against these statues per se. But to clearly ask anybody out there to not link the statue unveiling with the politics seems to be like, too many sips between the cup and the lip kind of a situation.
Late than never, thank God it is happening now. You should welcome it.
Well, nobody is not welcoming. Nobody is not welcoming it. But how about on the other hand,
Captain Karnik, Brijesh this side.
Yes.
I would like to ask you a question, sir, about
Yes.
how do you view the BJP? I understand that it is my job to ask the question. Basically, Kabir is asking question which is there in the mind of everybody, and you are answering what as a BJP spokesperson you should answer. So I want to ask you a question that how do you see the kind of slugfest which happened say 10 days back, and how do you see that is Mr. Yedurappa still hurt with the kind of insult and innuendos which was thrown at him by CT Ravi, or everything is now honky-dory as far as the BJP is concerned, sir?
I'm sorry, this slugfest you are referring to, and what our tallest leader, Mr. Yedurappa, commented on so-called comments made by CT Ravi. He said, if he has said, he should not have said that. That is all the end of it. There is no slugfest, there is no misunderstanding. Subsequently, they both have been going around together, the same stage, they have been talking, they have been attending public functions. So slugfest is in the minds of those people who think there is a slugfest. We don't have that slugfest at all. BJP is a well-oiled machine, and we are going ahead with one single agenda that in this election will come back to power with, simple majority. That is the
All right.
kind of confidence that we have.
Well-oiled, I
There is
completely
no
agree with
success
you.
at
I mean,
all.
I'm not denying that the BJP is well-oiled, and I mean, there's no problem with the
Yes.
machinery and the oil intake in it. But yeah, I mean, you may deny, but the whole world has seen, and I mean, people with normal comprehension of English would beg to differ from you. But that's absolutely all right. Gautam, today is the first list of Congress is also going to come out. How do you view is there any timing given till now, or do you see that and is everything all right within the Congress as well?
because there's this Siddaramaiah seat conundrum at play as well. From it's either is it going to be Varuna or not? There's a big question mark on that as well. So rumblings inside the Congress party as well.
Brijesh, to answer your question, first off, the announcement of the candidate list has been put off by another couple of days. So it's not going to happen today. So we've just got the breaking news. So this is not happening. And the major sticking point continues to remain Siddaramaiah's seat. Is it Kolar or Varuna? So this is one of the biggest sticking points. So this is the reason it's not going to happen today. And coming to what Mr. Captain Ganesh Karnik was saying, yes, it's within the BJP's rights to visit the community leaders, the seers, and everything. But let me just bring into context a recent meeting that happened. That is the Horticulture Minister Muniratna meeting Nirmala Nanda seer. So the context of this is what he was set to produce a biopic on Uri Gowda and Nanjay Gowda, who are largely perceived as fictional characters that was built up by the BJP and to project them as Vakaligas who killed Tipu Sultan. And once it came to the attention of Nirmalananda Swamiji, he said nothing doing, and immediately the decision to produce a movie was scrapped. And this has put BJP on the back foot both in the Vakaliga heartland, and it has also resulted in Chief Minister Bommai also sort of apologizing on this, that okay, fine, this is not true and everything. So, and even when PM Modi visited Mandya recently, there were 4 arches put up, and one of them was Uri Gowda and Nanjay Gowda, and once it was pointed out that this is not factually true, they had to take it down. So when they play these politics, they have to be a little wary of the sentiment, because this has certainly caused a little bit of heartburn among the Vakaligas when the arch went up over there as well. So these are things to keep in
Well,
perspective.
fair enough. Intricacies, reading between the lines, of course, over there.
And you would understand how it is placed is that the second Gautam said that that the list of candidates has been deferred by a day or two, given the fact that how situation is not normal. You saw a big grin on the face of Captain Karnik. So
well, on the other hand, it's still going to be crucial to see if the BJP is going to be able to make any inroads in Old Mysuru that it's trying to target. It has been a bastion of the JDS and the Congress as well. Yes, Captain Karnik, go on. Last 20 seconds, we're at a real paucity of time here.
You have the curiosity, you would like to communicate to the people, but selection of the candidates and selection of the constituency is left to the parties. allow them to do their business. When they should announce, where they should announce, they will do it at the right point of time. Your curiosity is well appreciated. But parties have their own
All right.
calculations. They'll take their own time, whether it is Congress, whether it is BJP. And last but not to counter what my worthy colleague mentioned about Urigowda and Nanjegowda, history says Tipu Sultan was killed by strangers. Now, the local folklore along Mandya and that area mentions about Urigowda and Nanjegowda. There needs some more investigation, some
Well, right.
research needs to be done. So there are differences
see,
of opinion.
Tipu Sultan is then we're going to need another 30 minutes to discuss about
Yes.
what needs to be retained in history and what needs to be pushed. But at this
I'm
point
ready,
in time,
I'm
it's
ready.
crucial to see. It's crucial. It's going to be very crucial to see the old Mysuru region, Nirmalananda Swami, his mutt, the Adi Chanchanagiri mutt. There's a beeline by political leaders towards that mutt as well. We'll have to see if the BJP is going to be able to make any inroads into the JDS and Congress bastion. Just a couple of days left to the crucial Karnataka Assembly elections. We're at a real paucity of time. Captain Ganesh Karnik, many thanks for joining with us and helping us out with your insightful inputs. To our main man with his expert voice from the South, Gautam Shankar, News9 Live, many thanks for joining with us. Brijesh, always a pleasure to have you in the studio. We're going to slip into a quick break here. Content continues on News9 Live. Don't go anywhere.